Good morning, my dear friends. Hello and welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Coffee with the Council. We're starting off with a beautiful song that I love meditating to from our very own teacher, Gunther Gerg, who is now Mindful Music on Insight Timer. Linda's got her coffee all set. I love it. Can everybody hear the song okay? It's a little loud on my end. Wonderful. Let's see who's here today. Good morning, Carrie. Hello, Nancy. Hi, Jack. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, Linda. Yes, indeed. We are ready. I'm tired, guys. Oh. And I don't drink coffee, just beautiful water. If you have not heard this song, it is available on the app. That is the name of it. It is a beautiful song. I believe it's a Tara meditation. A modernized version of a green Tara mantra. Kind of a kirtan style. It's lovely the way Gunther does it. She rushes to the aid of beings who call upon her with an open heart, mind, and heartfelt devotion. It's beautiful. Carrie had a wonderful day yesterday, full of 10s on the Mojo game. Yay! That's awesome. Tell us one of the 10s, or more if you wish. I had a wonderful day yesterday too. I softened as I went throughout the day until I was at a wonderful place of satisfaction. Green Tara, yes indeed. Good morning, welcome everybody. Say hi, tell us how you're doing, what's going on. Thank you, Linda, love the backdrop. So bright, cheery, and mystical. This is what we have deemed the enchanted tree. This is our enchanted tree. It showed up quite a lot in last year's live streams, and I just love it. Makes me happy. It's a 10. That's a 10 on the joy scale for sure, for me. Carrie said going out to a local seafood restaurant with your partner was sunny and you both had fun. Wow, that's amazing. Catherine, do you mind reminding us quickly how to do the Mojo game? Sure. Hey, Phil. Welcome. How about we start with that in a few minutes, Catherine? I love that question. Today, what we're doing, friends, Coffee with the Council. Welcome. If it's your first time, please say hello. Tell us where you're from. If you so wish, you can tell us whether you're drinking coffee, tea, juice, water, some other beautiful, amazing beverage that we've never heard of. Phil, you're from, down under, Aussie land. Very nice, wonderful. Oh, Phil. Wait, is that the Phil from Susan? Phil, is that you? No, maybe that's a different Phil. No, that's a different Phil. Anyways, I have a friend named Phil from another teachers group. Yeah, so if it's your first time here, I see D Hennessy too. Always nice to see our friend D. Jack is drinking ashwagandha tea again. Fantastic. I love that for you. Very yummy. So, my name is Greg Phillips. If you've never met me before, hello. Thank you for joining us today for Coffee with the Council live sessions that we've been doing now for 2 whole weeks. Guys, can you believe it? 2 whole weeks we've been doing this, and we have 2 left of the month. I'm like blown away. It's been one of the most enjoyable things that I've done ever in my life. Who am I? I am a way shower and a channel. And my role on the planet right now is to guide people into the depths of their hearts. I want to open as many hearts as possible across the planet, across all the different timelines, parallel realities, dimensions, whatever. It's very much ingrained into my beingness, into my isness, into my DNA to do that. And I do it through a lot of different ways. I offer energy readings, I offer channeled readings, I offered we do group readings on Insight Timer sometimes, channeled messages like we're doing in Coffee with the Council. I've been channeling for a year now this beautiful group called the Council of Seven, and they represent not just 7 beings, but they're a collective of beings who represent 7 distinct energies, frequencies, if you will, that are vital for our spiritual evolution here on planet Earth. And the first of that is love. So welcome, welcome, welcome. This is also a 10 on the yes, this is absolutely a 10 on the Mojo scale, for sure. Good morning, Linda. Nice to see you and here with all the beautiful souls indeed. D. Hennessy, how are you, my friend? Hello, CB. Horsetail and nettle tea. I'm gonna assume those are herbs because they don't necessarily sound like herbs. I know nettle is, yeah. Oh, Jack loves the nettle tea too. Very good. Hey, Christine. Good morning to you. Hi, Faz. Welcome. Good morning or good afternoon. Where is everybody? Where do we all live? Across the world. For those wondering, we are listening to a track on Insight Timer, and that is the name of it. It's one of my favorite tracks to meditate to. The teacher's name is Mindful Music, but most folks know him as Gunther Gerg. Nancy said we had a dusting of snow on the ground. Oh, I'm so glad I don't live in Rochester anymore. I'm sorry, Nancy. Although that sounds very pretty. A dusting of snow in April. Bizarre, but pretty. Jack is in England having a lovely spring day. Christine, you're in Arizona. You're close to the mountains. Me too. I'm in southern Utah. We're practically neighbors. Very cool. Where else is everybody from? Say hello. UK, Great Britain, says Faz. Love it. Isn't it so amazing how Insight Timer can bring us together from around the world? Just amazing. CB is in Salem, Mass, bordering on a sunny day. Well, yes, in the Northeast, bordering on a sunny day is quite common, isn't it? So today what we're going to be doing, Wednesday's Coffee with the Council has become more of a Q&A session. Now there's not questions, they're personal questions, but they're not random questions unrelated to the content that the council has been covering with us. So I'm going to strongly request that you do your best to keep any questions that you have relevant to what they've been talking about. If this is your first time, that may not make sense yet. But what they've been talking about for the last 2 weeks with us, they've been sharing lots of amazing messages about a topic that they are calling Is-ness. There are many different layers to this. And there's just, like yesterday, we had this incredibly, I don't even remember what we were talking about yesterday, guys. Incredibly deep conversation about, oh yeah, that's right. Yesterday's theme was how Is-ness holds all perspectives in itself. And it does so with loving allowance, is a phrase that I like to use. CB's has a question from yesterday. Yes, so we had many beautiful questions come up yesterday, and folks are just allowing this to integrate and process. We've had some people who have been with us the whole 2 weeks, and if this is your very first time, please enjoy. And we hope that that it speaks to you in whatever way is of service to you. And I will now switch my music. Thank you, Gunther Greg, for a beautiful song. All right, can you guys hear this song? Ooh, it's very faint, isn't it? Oh my, that's very faint. Well, it's faint to me. Can you hear it okay? How about that? Not well. Yes, I agree, Linda. All right, I'm gonna have to turn this one all the way up. How about that? Better? Yeah, that's better. Better. Wonderful. All right, my friends, let's start with just getting a quick little grounding meditation. Oh, thanks, Christine. This is one of my favorite virtual backgrounds. We call it the Enchanted Tree. It is just so colorful and so joyful and so heartful, and I love just the twinkling stars. Very much feels like how the tree of life, or if there is a real tree called the Enchanted Tree, I believe that for me this is how it would look. Alrighty, let's take a quick couple minutes to just ground in, and then we'll get into the questions. Thank you so much for being here with us today. We truly appreciate it, all of us do. So my friends, I invite you to place your left hand on your heart chakra as such, and then take your right hand and gently place it right on top of your left. Make sure that your arms are relaxed and gentle. I want to make sure that they are as comfortable as possible, and just I invite you to close your eyes, feet flat on the floor. Bring your mind's eye to focus on your beautiful space where your hands are holding your heart chakra. Dear Source, we invite you to infuse our heart with your divine love so that we may grow in our capacity to honor and hold all the emotions and all the vibrations and all the feelings that we experience in our days, in our lifetimes. Please fill our hearts with your divine love, allowing the peace and the wisdom that comes only from you to infuse and inform our days. Dear universe, we ask that you also fill and open our minds with your divine wisdom. Help us to see that which is not visible with the physical eyes. Help us to perceive beyond time and space, to perceive beyond our limited thinking, so that we may remember who we truly are and be able to gradually and eventually bring that fully into our very walk through life, our very days. Dear all that is, and dear Spirit, we also ask that you instill us with your divine courage, bolster our strength with yours during times of difficulty, during times of busyness, during times of chaos. Guide us with your innate courage and strength, allowing us to remember that it is only in our connection to all things spirit that we have true security and safety, that our true groundedness and stability comes from, not from anything that we are witnessing outside of ourselves, not from any reflection from daily life. We thank you for these wonderful opportunities on Insight Timer to come together in community, in loving support of each other. It means so much to each and every single one of us. It fills our hearts and inspires our days. It is truly a special opportunity and filled with very beautiful moments. My friends, begin to gently tap your heart chakra with the palm of your hand and repeat after me. Heart, teach my mind. Heart, teach my mind. Heart, teach my mind. I am here. I am here. I am here right now. Good morning, our dear beloved friends from across the world, from across time and space. We greet you from the energetic realms where we honor, celebrate, and love every single movement of your pinky finger, as well as every single footstep you take upon the planet Earth and every single little experience that you have, for it is our deep joy to celebrate everything that is you. We are so pleased to be here again today with you all. We will be doing questions and answers. Yes, indeed. We will be going in and out of channeling with our dear beloved Channel Greg, and we hope that you have plenty of questions regarding Is-ness. Indeed, yesterday's topic was quite meaty. Yes, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We very much appreciated how deeply you all went with it, and indeed, you are starting to grasp or perceive the paradoxical nature of the conversations that we have been having. For now, we are getting into the thick of it, as you say, and this is where we truly enjoy the conversation to go. So for those who are brand new, we have been speaking about is-ness. Now, is-ness has many different aspects of conversation. We have talked about how was-ness is-ness weighed down by story, or those might think of it as is-ness weighed down by regret, thoughts about the past. We have spoken about not-yetness and defined it as is-ness that is burdened by longing, desire, expectation that you are thinking about for the future. Neither one is living in the moment, so to speak, although living in the moment is not the same as is-ness. And then what we spoke of after that was nowness. And that nowness, not so much the same as living in the moment, but that nowness was a deep connection to being, well, how do we say this? Let's say this differently, and we like this better. A profound sense of presence with all that is. So again, nowness is also, in a sense, is-ness. What is amazing about all of this is that is-ness is within all of it. And on Monday, 2 days ago, we spoke about how is-ness holds no duality. We were talking about how within is-ness there is no good versus bad, right versus wrong, us versus them, etc., etc. And then yesterday we were speaking about how is-ness not just holds no duality, but it holds all perspectives. There is good, there is bad, there is everything in between. Very much a question of, or a matter of degrees, as some people like to say. Now, the important thing with what came up yesterday was how is-ness must indeed hold every single possible perspective that exists. And if it were not, if it were to take a moment and suddenly look at a certain perspective and say, you are invalid, you do not belong, you are not worthy, you are not whatever, then what it would be doing is essentially invalidating itself, because the full nature of is-ness is that it encompasses all that is. It is existence in itself, and there cannot be not existence, for that would defy the fact that existence is everything, that is-ness is everything. And so we got into very deep discussion yesterday, and we do look forward to whatever questions that you have regarding anything that came up yesterday or in the previous 2 weeks. And we will allow Greg to come back to you now so that he can field the questions, and we look forward to providing answers. Ooh, didn't expect a little intro from them. Wonderful. Hello. Hi, April. You made it. All right. Great. It's good to have you guys here. I'm so excited today now. I'm actually waking up. This is good. What is the first question for the council about all this stuff? I know that CB had one and April had one. Did you guys keep do you have a new way to say it, or did you keep how you were saying it, asking it yesterday? Here's the part in which we wait for the typing. Someday we will all be together and you won't have to type. Unless the stream suddenly died, but I don't think that's the case. That was nice that the council gave the firsties an overview. Appreciate that. How does compromise fit into this concept? There we go, CB. I knew you had it coming in your question for me. Wonderful, thank you. All right, let's see. Your guides and counsels, please help me. Dearest CB, this is a wonderful and beautiful question. And indeed, how Greg answered yesterday is indeed a part and parcel of what is our perspective on compromise. The first and most important thing to say about compromise is that this is a function, or this is very much a human concept. Now, there are different ways to think about compromise. Yes, there is the compromise between two different opposing opinions or disagreeing opinions. Then there is the concept of compromise in terms of not following one's values, if you will, or yes, that's probably the best way to say it right now. So there is a self-compromise, if you will. We never encourage self-compromise. This is a complicated topic, and we will try to keep it as simple as possible. Let us start first with the disagreement between two parties. Since Is-ness itself holds all perspectives and honors all perspectives equally, within Is-ness there is no need for agreement. Because agreement is something that humanity feels is essential in order to bring people together. This is a misunderstanding of true unity. True unity is when you can hold all perspectives, all things, all persons, places, etc., all experiences, when you can hold them in your heart and see them and feel them all as valid. This does not concern itself with agreement. You may not agree with anything that we say, and yet that does not upset us, for we honor, revere, and hold dearly anything that you might think or believe. We may believe differently. Greg may believe differently. Your best friend may believe differently. There is a certain aspect within the human psyche, within the human ego, if you will, that insists on agreement. Now, we have heard, or we have said, and we have repeated several times that insistence is resistance. We borrow this from our dear friend Bashar. And indeed, this is very much true, because when there is any moment or any particular topic in your life that you are insisting must be a certain way, that is your mind imposing its singular viewpoint on a situation. And this unfortunately puts blinders on. This creates a situation or a scenario or an experience in which you are unable to see other perspectives. And so compromise in and of itself, when dealing with individuals or groups of individuals who are very tightly wed, if you will, tightly melded or connected or attached really to their particular perspective, and are unwilling to open their perception beyond their particular viewpoint, then in terms of a negotiation strategy, compromise indeed is essential. But in the greater scheme of all things, within the energetic realms, within spirit, and within all that is, there is no need for compromise. For indeed, this is the true nature of how everything exists. For you see in nature itself on your planet, the little bunny rabbit, perhaps, that is being chased by a voracious wolf. The bunny rabbit does not call in the sparrow for a moment and say, "Will you please intervene and find a compromise between myself and Mr. Wolf, for I do not wish to be eaten." And the wolf might say, "Dear sparrow, would you please advocate for me, because I wish for the rabbit to not run so fast so that I can eat it." None of this happens in nature. For they understand the cyclical nature of all things. They understand how the two are connected. They may be in disagreement about the outcome, but again, animals don't really think in terms of agreement, for they are far more connected to source energy and to all that is than human beings are. And it is very natural for the beasts on your planet to maintain a much closer connection with their spiritual essence, if you will, with their very energy, with who they truly are. So compromise, from the perspective of finding mutual agreement between two parties, very much a human concept. We hope we have explained that. Now, a more important aspect, we think, to discuss compromise is when you are not being authentic with your own values. These situations are very tenuous in certain circumstances, and we understand that there are times in life in which you feel that you must compromise what you think and what you believe and what you value in the interest of another. However, our dear friends, we ask you to be very careful and very introspective about whenever you do this. For when you do this, you know you are doing it by how it makes you feel. If you are about to compromise on something with someone perhaps that you are beloved with or close to or even just friendly with, and you find that it is making you feel not so good, this has nothing to do with the other individual. This has nothing to do with the moment, the occurrence that is happening at that very time. This has everything to do with how you are thinking about what is about to unfold. And we urge you to be very mindful in these moments, our dear friends. And we are being emphatic and slower with our words, for we wish that you take this to heart. Do not simply give yourselves away, dear friends. However, when you are dealing with another individual and you can find value, a greater sense of value and preference. For example, perhaps you are dating someone and they wish to go somewhere that initially you feel a little bit uncomfortable about. It is pushing you outside of your comfort zone, and it is a little bit triggering in terms of your own personal boundaries. Perhaps it is someplace where there are more people than you are typically comfortable with. Well, in this moment, you have a decision to make. Shall I step outside my comfort levels? Shall I put myself in a situation that feels potentially anxiety-ridden or somewhat awkward? Well, this may be, your serenity may be of highest value to you in that moment. Understand, friends, you must do this in a snapshot basis, moment per moment, occurrence by occurrence. This is not a global, universal decision-making process. This is something that you do right in the moment. And yet you may look at this friend that you are dating, and you may look at them and say, but I love spending time with them, and I wish to get to know them better. And in that moment, you may realize that in that very moment, perhaps not the next time this comes up, but in that very moment, it feels better to you to spend time with this individual who you are beginning to grow close to, who you wish to learn more about, and whose company you absolutely adore. And in that moment, the higher value, the way of thinking about that from that perspective feels very good to you. And so you are willing to step outside your comfort zones. You are willing to push past your boundaries a little bit because you see a beneficial outcome for doing so. This is not a compromise, our dear friends. This is growth. This is expansion. This is following your highest excitement. This is being true to what is true for you. However, if in the evaluation and discernment of this moment, you feel conflicted because you would wish to spend time with this individual, you do deeply adore and enjoy their company, and you would like to get to know them, but in this particular moment, in that particular occurrence of decision making and discernment, you do not feel ready to push beyond your comfort lines. You must honor this, dear friends, but this is not such situation where you can simply be in black and white thinking. You can if you wish to. However, there is always the opportunity to see things from a different, better feeling perspective. So you might say to this individual, honestly and from your heart, dear one, you may not use those words, but those are our words, as you know. Dear one, I do so appreciate your company, and I would love to spend time with you tonight. I do not feel that I am in a position right at this moment, for no reason needs to be given, by the way, other than I do not feel that I am up to going to a public place. Can we pursue a different option? For I would truly love to spend time with you tonight. So in this manner, we hope that you can see, you are always, in every single example that we have just given about this, you are always being true to yourself. You are being authentic. And not only that, when you are true to yourself and being authentic with yourself, you then can be honest, open-hearted, and true to the other individual, both honoring their wish and where you are at. This, our dear friends, is truly embracing the nature of is-ness within a relationship. Beautiful example. CB, we thank you for this amazing question, and we hope that this helps clarify a little bit regarding compromise from both of the different potential concepts, if you will, potential understandings or definitions, if you will, regarding the word. For indeed, on your planet, the word does have different uses. Yes, Catherine, thank you for reminding me of that. There we go. CB, how does that feel? Anybody else? Wow, that was a really in-depth answer. So needed to hear this, Faz says. Lots to think about, indeed. Yes, Faz put 5 O's on their so there. Wow, thank you. Carolina, hello, my dear. Be true to self. Yeah. Oh, April, you're going to hold your question because you need to drop soon. Oh, okay. Well, we can always field it another time. Lots to think about, CB. What are you thinking about? Faz says authenticity. Yeah. I believe I'm getting kind of a little bit of an extra download. We go into compromise when we aren't valuing what's true to us. And I think what I'm taking away from the council's message here is that when we're in a state of is-ness, it is truly possible to value more than one perspective, to value more than one option, to value more than one thing, while also being true to ourselves. If we are so attached to just our way of thinking and our way of doing things, then we're mentally and actually behaviorally quite rigid, aren't we? But when we can allow, with a loving, allowing heart, when we can allow in all perspectives as valid, not agreed, we may not agree, but as valid, that we are saying they have the right to exist. There is a they're also letting me know there is an intimate interweaving for us with this, talking about authenticity and being true to oneself, a very intimate interweaving with self-worth. Wow, that is powerful. Carrie says, that was a great explanation. Oh, I'm glad. CB says, so sometime leaving it up to the universe. Well, yes, indeed. And in fact, if you are unsure, leaving it up to the universe surrender is always a wonderful option. However, there is some very clear guidance that exists out there. One of my favorite is from Bashar himself, who talks about the excitement formula, following your highest excitement. If you are unsure about something, you can simply sit in the moment. If it's a simple decision, you can be like, do I take a nap next, or do I work on this email? Do I read a book, or do I watch a movie? Do I go for a walk, or do I call a best friend? Which one feels the most exciting? Which one brings the most joy? This is where the moments of joy game can be very helpful, because as you practice the moments of joy game, which I will explain for Catherine in a moment, when you practice the moments of joy game within the regular, everyday, in and out, mundane, if you want to call them that, activities of your day, you are learning how to calibrate your mind and your heart so that you can identify what feels good to you, that you can identify your highest excitement in the moment. It's like you're exercising a certain spiritual muscle of calibrating to your highest self, truly, is what it's all about. Faz says, transparency for deeper connections. Absolutely. Absolutely. Carolina, I live basking in the council's wisdom. Oh, sweetheart, thank you so much. Linda says, wow, how beautiful the council is. So grateful to you, Greg, for sharing your gift. Thank you, Linda. I appreciate it. Unity of love. Fantastic. Yes, Carrie, we must see, for love encompasses all things. In love, I'm not talking about the feeling of love. When the council is if you've never watched or listened to my track, The Journey Through Love, I strongly encourage you to listen to it. It's a little longer. It's about 32 minutes, but it comes from a Zoom session that I did last year, in which we went on an energetic journey, and we took everybody through the 3 phases of love. Love is a feeling, love is a force, and love is a field. And love as a field is where you are actually existing as love. Not just feeling love and not just flowing it through you and channeling it through you, which is love as a force, but actually being love. Until we can consistently be love, which relates to is-ness, right? Until we can consistently be in is-ness. And by consistently, I don't mean every single moment. I mean consistently returning to it, right? Returning to being love, returning to seeing things through the eyes of the universe, through the eyes of love, through the eyes of source, whatever you want to say. Continuing to return to the nowness, continuing to return to is-ness. That is the consistency that I'm talking about. This is not about perfection. This is about the unfolding of it. But the more we can do that, the more we can tap into the unity, which is a vibration, a frequency that's higher than love. Awesome. Faz says, expansion versus restrictive. Yes, indeed. Becomes people-pleasing if not being true to self. It quite often does, Faz. I would agree with that. Love as a field. Yes. All right. Catherine, the Moments of Joy game. I promise that I will make a track about this because so many people are asking for it now that it's what you guys want. So I wish to give the people what they want in that regard. I just have to figure out how I'm going to do that, because at this point, the council has spoken about this in 3 or 4 different lives, and I wish to pull all that together. So I have to find those lives. Anyways, the Moments of Joy game, one of my favorite tools that the council has ever given. Quite simply, as you go throughout your day, perhaps, for example, you are doing your personal hygiene, brushing your teeth, shaving, showering, whatever you're doing. As you are there, in the midst of your regular daily activity. You could be washing the dishes, you could be working on a work project, taking a walk, walking your doggy, petting the cat, whatever it is. In that moment, open up your heart or connect with your heart and simply begin looking around you and noticing what different things give you a sense of joy. Bring a sense of joy to you when you see them, when you witness them, and assign them a number from 1 to 10. 1 being eensy weensy little bit about a joy. There is joy, it's just an eensy tiny little bit. And 10 being, oh my God, my heart is overflowing with joy just seeing this. So let's practice this for a moment, okay? Your immediate surroundings, wherever you are. I'm looking at this touch sensitive lamp that I bought, and that's a 7 for me. It's actually an 8 because I just love the ability, and you don't even have to give a reason. I'm giving you an example of why it's joyful for me so that you can help relate to it. But as you're doing this, you just give a number. You don't have to give a reason. There is no need for it. There's no need for explanation. That's an 8 for me because I just enjoy being able to touch the base of the lamp and turn the light on and go through its 3 stages. My water bottle, I love this thing. This is a 10 for me. It is just the most amazing. I love the design. Look at how cool this is. It's like this granite, graphite, or whatever it is. It's just beautiful. I love the black and white. I love the name of that. I just love that. That's a 10 for me. I love Insight Timer. I love this background, this virtual background. Like right now, it's like a 9 to a 10. It's like an 11 maybe even for me because it just encompasses such a beautiful enchantment energy. Again, you do not need to give reasons. You just look around. Oh, my bed. My bed's like a 7. It's not even my bed, but it's so comfortable and it feels so good to sleep on. Let me look around some more. I love my backpack. It is so comfortable and holds my laptop perfectly, and I can put so many different things in it. My backpack is also this cool red and black color that I love red and black combination colors. Oh, I love my hand lotion. My hand lotion is like a 9 for me. When I was living in Colorado, my hands would get so chapped, and I don't like lotions. They often make my hands feel worse. And I found one that actually restored the health of my skin. And it feels so nurturing and so soothing and so amazingly. Like if delicious could be a word used to associate with putting something into your skin, it's delicious for me. So that's an example of how to play the Moments of Joy game. And you just do it for the experience of the joy. You don't need reasons. It's nice to think about the reasons sometimes. It's nice to state them to yourself because what you're doing is you're raising your vibration. Even if you see something and like, I look outside my window, this view is maybe a 2 or a 3. When it's really sunny, it's a 4 or a 5. But right now, it's cloudy, it's not too sunny, I can't really see the mountains. It's not bad. I'm not saying it's bad either. That's the other beautiful thing about the Moments of Joy game. There is no not joy. So what we're doing is we're looking and seeing the degrees. And as you do this, the more you do this, even if it's a 2 or a 1 or a 4 or a 5, you are bringing more joy into your heart. You're activating that joy in your heart and you're raising your vibration. And the higher you raise your vibration, the more aligned with your true self that you are, the more aligned with your authenticity, the more you can listen to the universe, then let it guide you, the more aligned with synchronicity of life that you are, the more aligned with Is-ness, the more aligned with love, the more aligned with unity, etc., etc. You're basically helping yourself expand right in that very moment. So that nourishing, thank you, Faz. Yes, delicious, but nourishing. Yes, as well. That's the explanation. Nancy says the kitty on my lap is a 10. I love that. And that's, yes, and our fun little acronym for it is Mojo, because it's Moments of Joy. So if you want to get your mojo back, play the Moments of Joy game. Hopefully that was a good explanation. Catherine, is that good for you? Are you complete with that? Ooh, okay. I need to take a breath, don't I? Very cool, says CB. Well, you're welcome. I love that you love that. Spending time with you guys is a 20 for me. Well, We'll keep it to 10s. It's a 10. You guys are a 10. Catherine says, yes, it was a helpful reminder. Thank you. You are welcome. Yes, I love it, says Carrie. You guys are a 10 in my book. If anybody ever says you're not a 10, just say, oh, feck them. Screw them. Greg says I'm a 10. Spiritually, you're a 10 in my book. What else? More questions? Did we lose April? Did she have to drop already? So if you are recently joining in, we are fielding questions for the council regarding the topics they've been sharing with us the last 2 weeks during these coffee sessions, mostly about is-ness and anything else that has come up during these, rather than just random one-off questions. Although we could take a random one-off question because I'm sure they could find a way to relate it to what they've been talking about. Thanks for the hearts. I really appreciate it. Are you guys just basking in all the love without any more questions, which is totally fine. We only have about 13 more minutes. I do need to keep firm on the schedule today. I have a lots to do. Linda says, so could you relate community? You all here are my community. Could you relate community? Could you clarify that, Linda? I don't quite understand. Yes, you all here are my community too. I don't have community in the physical sense. I haven't for years, so Insight Timer has been really the answer to a long-standing desire that I had for community, and it's so truly amazing, you know, to be able to pop in from wherever you are. And just even, I mean, we don't even get to, I mean, you listen to me and I watch you type, and some would say, well, how is that very fulfilling? But it is. I mean, I prefer hearing the voices and seeing the faces as much as possible, but this is so lovely. So I agree. Yes, it is the energy. You know, I popped into somebody's live over the weekend and I was feeling a bit off, and I popped in and I immediately saw people that I knew. And when I said hi and they said hi to me, I mean, that's just love, right? It's so beautiful. Community as in is-ness. I believe my thought is changing concerning community. Oh, I see. So you're asking okay. How does community relate to is-ness? I think that's what you're asking. Yes, got it. Cool, let's find out. And this will be our last question for today, I think. We'll see how long it takes them to answer. Dear Linda, thank you so much for this question. Community as relates to is-ness. So, indeed, this is a unique question. We do not feel that this has necessarily been addressed in anything that we have said so far. So we relish and we appreciate the opportunity to explore this further with you. So, there are many things that we could say about this. Indeed, many that do not necessarily relate to is-ness, but since you are curious about the connection with is-ness, we will say that there is no inherent necessarily connection with it. However, since is-ness is all things and holds all perspectives, truly community is part of is-ness. Now, what's important in this regard is not so much how the two are related, but how you bring the state of being of is-ness into your community. It is more a question of where you are living from and then how you are connecting and relating with community. So let us give you an example. Let us say that a certain individual has discovered a community that they enjoy, but they are very much steeped in was-ness. They are very much caught in their story They live from their regrets and disappointments about the past. Well, when they're living from such a state of beingness, from wasness itself, and they come into community, every single experience and interaction that they have will be filtered through their perspective of wasness. It will be filtered through their stories of loss, of regret, of disappointment, of anger, whatever it is that they might be focused on in the past. And so what happens is, this is very much a more crystallized example of the phrase that you've probably heard before, wherever you go, there you are. Well, this is part of an explanation of what that means. Wherever you go, there you are. If you go into community and you are living from wasness, you will be bringing your wasness into all aspects of your interactions with that community. And therefore, unfortunately, because you are not in isness and you are not in nounness, you will be possibly finding more conflict within that community than you had desired. So, it is then important in that moment to do as we have suggested many times, to look at your beliefs. For truly, wasness, even though we could say you were quote unquote living in the past, you are still living in the moment, but you are in a state of wasness. When you begin to let go of the story, when you begin to identify the beliefs that are causing you to feel the loss, to feel the disappointment, to feel the anger, when you begin to investigate and be the mindful observer of those beliefs and definitions and meanings and different thought patterns that you have assigned to the situation. For remember, dear friends, there is no inherent meaning in anything that occurs in life. Anything that you see outside of yourself is indeed truly neutral. You were the one who assigns the meaning to it, and that meaning determines the response that you have to what occurs outside of you. And the only thing that matters is your response to life, not life in its occurrences outside of you. Hopefully this makes sense. So when it comes to community, how would this individual proceed? Well, this ties back to the question that CB offered to all of us and had the lovely answering with it. That sense of authenticity, that sense of where does your value lie in this moment? Is it more important to me to hold on to my stories and live in my wasness? Or is it more important to me to bask in the joy and the beauty of being in community? Can I let go of my stories? Can I let go of this perspective that keeps me in wasness, that keeps me merged with the past instead of in the moment, instead of in the now, instead of in my isness? And can I therefore avail myself to what the community has to offer? Now, understand, when there is agreement, human concept, not necessarily a spiritual one, not unity, agreement, when individuals are coming together in community in agreement and they're all coming from a place of wasness, well, guess what happens? All the conversation within that community is from a place of wasness, because all individuals are living in a place of wasness and coming together in agreement about different concepts, ideas, stories, and whatnot, and attachments to the past that they have, and they've come together in order to continue furthering that vibration, if you will. They've come together to join in that particular frequency. Does that allow them to grow and expand? It may feel supportive for them in certain ways. It may even feel beneficial in certain ways. This, of course, if you are not wishing to live from wasness, if you have set the intention to be more in isness, or if you are perhaps living in not yetness, this type of community would not be a vibrational match to you, because they are on a specific wasness frequency. It's maybe about a particular event that occurred or particular type of happenings in life, etc. So there are many different reasons for community to come together. And the point that we are trying to make here regarding this last comment is that when communities come together, they do so often within the same general range of frequency. For you cannot really come together with other individuals who are not vibrating at the same frequency or level that you are. If you are more regularly living from a place of isness, you will find, as you continue to expand and grow spiritually, that you no longer feel quite right or at home, if you will, when experiencing somebody who is living from their stories of the past, living in their wasness. I'm sure that you can think of a moment or two, or many more possibly, in which you've walked into a community or met a certain individual and you've just been like, well, I like them and they're nice, but it just feels off to me for some reason. Well, this is why the vibrations that their belief systems and their thinkings are holding are keeping them at a certain frequency, and it is not in alignment with your frequency. And there is indeed, from the Is-ness perspective, there is indeed nothing wrong with that. This is indeed well and good, and as it should be, for Is-ness holds all perspectives. However, with authenticity in mind, based on the previous questions, with authenticity in mind, you simply say, this vibration, this frequency, this conversation does not work for me. I think that I will not continue to linger here. And in those moments, as you discern your trueness, your truth, and your highest and best, as you follow your highest excitement, for example, you may suddenly decide this community no longer is working for me, and so I will leave it. Boom. Now, there may be emotional components to that decision, or it may be a community that you've been in for quite a while. However, when you look at the community, such as the one you have mentioned here today, your collection of all you beautiful beings coming together to converse with us and with our dear channel Greg, this indeed is because you are all vibrating within this similar frequency range, or you have felt a connection with where we vibrate, with the frequency that Greg maintains in his life, and you have said, I like how that feels. I wish to be around it more. That is truly what is going on an energetic level, dear friends. We hope that this is helpful. We spoke a little bit more than we thought we would about it, but indeed, it seems that there was much to say regarding community in relation to Is-ness. All right, Linda, how was that? Yes, I like how this feels, and I'd like to be around it. Exactly. Ooh, what is the other Linda saying? When the council talked about animals and nature, the formation of the elephants during the recent earthquake in California on TV came to mind. They just did those amazing formation protecting the young. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. That sounds cool. That'd be fun to see. Carrie says, nicely stated. Linda says, awesome. Wonderful. Good. Thank you for sharing this space of similar vibration with me today and with the council. I will check it out. Elephants are really awesome. They're very wise. All right, my friends, we've got 2 minutes left. Let's see if there's any closing message from the No, there's no closing message from the council. I believe that we will simply wrap it up. Energy is everything, and everything is energy. I love this. Good stuff today, my friends. Good stuff. Let us see. I'll do a little bit of housekeeping. If you're brand new, if you love this, if it touched your heart, if you found value in it, how did Linda say that? If you find yourself saying, I like how this feels and I'd like to be around it, please do follow me. I'm going for, we're at 886 followers. We're going for that 888. Of course, more is always beautiful to see as well. But please do follow. I think we're probably passing 888 today. I love replicating or duplicating numbers or repeating numbers. Sorry, that's it. Thank you, Linda, for your sweet donation. Also, if you feel so moved and you wish to share some of your beautiful abundance with me, I greatly welcome it and receive it with deep appreciation. And very, it's incredible. It's just so lovely to have you guys here. Also, we have a beautiful group. We have two groups on Insight Timer. Two groups on Insight Timer. One is called our Happy Little Bubble. That's where I sometimes announce different things that I'm doing within Insight Timer. And then another one we made specifically for these Coffee with the Council sessions, and it's called Coffee with the Council. And I know that Gwen and Jack would love to have other people to share with over there. So please do check out that group. You can find all that on my teacher profile. Also, if you feel so called to connect with me off of Insight Timer, I welcome that. I love that. There are things that I am doing off of Insight Timer, which I cannot share about with you here, but I am allowed to direct you to my teacher link, which you can find on the About tab of my teacher's profile. So if you feel so moved and called to interact with me outside of the app, please do reach out through whatever you find there on my page. So, and Nancy loves this too. Thank you, Nancy. It's always good to see you, my old friend. Carrie says, yes, indeed. Thank you, Greg and Council, for your service and love. Much love and blessing. Linda says, I'm sparkling like the enchanted tree. Yes, indeed. Thank you, enchanted tree, for holding. Let's just take a final look at it. Thank you, enchanted tree, for holding a beautiful, magical space for us today. Look at those colors. I mean, it's such a 10 for me. I could just imagine like sitting, I don't know what we'd be sitting on, but just sitting around the tree and just sitting with it, like just being with it, God, I love it. It's so amazing. Carrie says, I will join. I will join. Yes, you're welcome, Christine. And thank you, Council. We love and appreciate you as well. Oh, yes. Yay, Greg. Yeah, you're welcome, Jack. Jack, I got your email. Let's find a time to talk. Maybe are you on Facebook? We could do a Facebook call, or we could do a Zoom or whatever. Jack floated an idea by me that I actually don't mention it, Jack, because I want to talk to you about it first before we tell everybody else, but that I actually kind of really like. I need to sleep on it, but we want to talk to you, Jack. So if you have time, let me know when would be good. Coffee with the Council group. Yes, join the group. Please do. I know that that Jack and Gwen are there, and myself as well, and we would love to see it. I've just made it for you guys. It's not about anything I have to share. It's just a group for you guys to share what you're learning, how you're growing, what you're experiencing. You can ask questions. I'll answer those if you want. So it's open to everybody. All right, my friends, I have much to do today. Susan, you are welcome. It's so nice to have you here. You've been a few times, haven't you? I recognize your picture. Yes, indeed. Glad that you enjoyed this. Tomorrow we will continue with the messages, or well, who knows? We'll see what the council has for us tomorrow. If you feel like you'd love to find out more about what the council has been sharing the last 2 weeks, I do record all of my lives and I put them up on a certain website I'm not allowed to mention, but you can find that through my teacher link. And the last 2 weeks are all there. They're all called Coffee with the Council. And so all of what the council has been sharing with us is available there if you wish to catch up on it. And I have a feeling that this is going to keep going. So, all right, my friends, I need to get ready for work. How you are teaching us so much. Oh, thank you, Carrie. Yes, and the council is teaching us a lot. It's really been a joy for me. This was a scary commitment to make, to do a live stream every morning, every weekday morning. I'm not a morning person. That's why anyone who comes in early in the live stream will often see me looking a little logy and a little tired, because I'm not a morning person. But by the time I getting to talk with you guys and hanging out in our beautiful energy, and also being with the council's energy, I just feel fantastic. So I hope that you are feeling good right now, and I will send you off into your days. I will see whoever appears tomorrow. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for being here, for being part of our beautiful community, and just thank you for being you. I know that the council loves and appreciates every single one of you so very deeply. There's really no good human words to convey how much love I feel when they're talking to you, how much of their love for you that I feel. There really just isn't words. So I hope that you can feel it as they are speaking with you. And it's always fun to hear from them. All right, my dear friends, take care. Love you bunches. I will see you all soon. Have a great day.